Yo, welcome back guys. Today we're going to take a look at the updated PDW-90 build. We'll figure out which deviant works best, how to one-shot bosses, and which gear setup you should use for different content. But before that, a quick sponsor segment. Need to top up your favorite games fast and safely? With TopUp, you can easily recharge balances for many different games in just a few clicks. And yes, Once Human is available too. Just choose Once Human, enter your UID, select your region, and then pick the server where your character is located. And here's the best part. Use code WHITE for up to 12% off. Then pick your amount and finish the order. Check the link in the description and top up with TopUp today. Alright, let's start with calibration. For the P90, we use Assault Style with crit rate. For the secondary weapon, we use Primal Rage to activate the Fast Gunner effect. Here we also use Assault Style, with either crit rate or crit damage. The secondary attribute is not that important, so just use whichever one you have. For the armor set, we use 3 pieces of Savior and 2 pieces of Lone Wolf. Lone Wolf gives us additional crit rate and magazine capacity. Combined with the extra magazine capacity from our violent mods, this gives us enough ammo for 1 additional explosion. For the key gear piece, the choice is pretty simple. Against bosses, or when farming Forsaken Giant, we use Earthly Boots. For silos, or any situation where you need more AoE damage, we switch to Bloodstained Tracker Boots. These are the skins I'm using on my gear. For the Deviant, we also have a few different options. For farming Forsaken Giant, we use Voodoo Doll. But for one-shotting bosses, we use Lone Wolf's Whisper. The ultimate from this deviant can deal millions of damage and helps us completely skip certain boss phases. For Lone Wolf's Whisper, the best traits are Power Rewind 2, Lunar Oracle, and Moonlight Assault. For Voodoo Doll, I recommend Fluffy Curse, Starfall Inversion, and Moonlight Assault. Now let's move on to mods. On the P90, we use Vulnerability Amplifier with the Violent suffix. Violent is stronger than Bullseye for this build, and it also gives us additional magazine capacity. On Primal Rage, we use Shooting Blitz to extend the duration of Fast Gunner. For the helmet, we use Fortune's Favor for additional crit rate and crit damage. On the mask, we run Targeted Strike with the Violent suffix for more magazine capacity and weapon damage. For the chest, we use Rejuvenating for additional shields and better survivability. On the pants, we use Deadshot to increase crit damage. For the gloves, we run Crit Amplifier for the same reason. And for the boots, we have 2 different options. Against bosses and Forsaken Giant, we use Rush Hour. For silos and large groups of enemies, we switch to Ruthless Reaper, so we don't waste time constantly reloading. Against bosses, I recommend using this food setup. And for silos, we use this one instead. One important thing, for every dish that requires meat, use rabbit meat. These are the cradles I'm using. And one more important detail. Even though we use Fortune's Favor, which removes all of our weak spot damage bonus, the Marked Strike Cradle perk still works and continues to increase our damage against weak spots. So, to sum it all up, the P90 is not the strongest weapon in the current meta. It has a hard time competing with weapons like the Compound Bow or Finale. But a lot of players still love it because it's simple, versatile, and comfortable to use. And with Lone Wolf's Whisper, it still has a pretty good chance to compete in boss fights. So overall, it's still a solid weapon. Not completely broken, but definitely not weak either. And that's it guys. If you like the build and the breakdown, drop a like, subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comments. See you next time.